An island made out of CGI. These are just some of the VFX that went into No Time to Die. No Time to Die had plenty of time for practical effects and stunts, as the director was adamant to keep as much of the original plate as possible. However, that doesn't mean that the movie didn't need VFX. On the contrary, there were some very necessary uses of VFX. For example, number 1, to adjust the lighting. Have consistent lighting throughout the sequence. They recreated the entire Norway environment digitally. Then they lit it the exact way the director wanted, then used this lighting information to relight the plate photography to look the same. 2, to augment the shot. They did this for the trees in Norway that didn't have snow on them, so the VFX team replicated the trees with CGI and put digital snow on them. They then lifted that digital snow off the CG trees and put it onto the trees in the original plates. This may seem like a lot of work for a little bit of snow that no one's going to really care about anyway. But it's the subtle details like this that really immerse the audience into the scene, making the story even more believable. Another subtle way to improve the storytelling is by hiding spoilers that foreshadow future events. And in case you missed it, this actually happened at the very beginning of the movie with the iconic Bond barrel sequence. Although it has remained pretty unchanged throughout the years, this time in No Time to Die they decided to do it a little differently. Not quite. You see, for those of you who weren't paying attention, there was actually a spoiler hidden right within this very sequence, as this time Bond doesn't fire his gun and the baddie guy shoots first. Also, there's no blood or wobbliness from the shooter man, unlike in all the other ones. Thus foreshadowing, as we see in the grand finale, the end of a 00 Daniel Craig. But that wasn't the only thing that had been subtly hidden, as along with all the incredible practical effects, stunt bikes jumping over walls and donuts in cars, VFX were very much needed for hiding many elements within all the practical effects so as not to spoil the story. Which brings us to our third, the digital removal of this. It's an ingenious rig that was clamped on the DB5's front left tyre, enabling the car to rotate around it, whilst remaining in the same place and simultaneously trigger switches that detonated squibs positioned all over the set at the exact moment the car turned to face them. And finally, number 4, VFX were used to solve problems. This happened in the Land Rover chase sequence that was set in Norway but filmed in Scotland. After various takes of Land Rovers skidding around churning up all the grass, it naturally turned to mud, and so it had to be replaced with digital grass. Scotland then got too rainy and wet, so they had to look for a similar looking hill to finish the sequence, and they found one in Salisbury, but unfortunately Salisbury's grass doesn't look like Scottish grass, and so this had to be CG too. In addition to all of this, later on in the editing process, they saw it necessary to cut out the motorbike stunt section of the sequence. This meant that the VFX team had to digitally remove motorbikes and ramps from the first part of the Land Rover chase sequence and substitute the last motorbike in the sequence for a CG Land Rover in order to stitch the two parts of the sequence together and maintain continuity. Please give us a like if you enjoyed this video, don't forget the links to the music used in the video are in the video description, and as always let us know in the comment sections below which movie VFX you'd like to see behind next.